You're listening to Oilers Nation Radio, presented by the Nation Network. Subscribe for free on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from.
We are back.
We are back.
We are back.
I am back.
It is the Oilers Nation Radio podcast, episode number 48. Did we confirm that?
Mm-hmm.
Episode 48.
Can you guys name the two players who have worn number 48 for the Edmonton Oilers?
No. Yes, I can actually.
Milan Kintnar.
It's not Milan Kintnar. You just say that because I said that name out loud 5 minutes ago.
Thought I had an edge.
You can't do it because you already put a photo on the Instagram for the countdown.
so
Was it Sebastian Bissalion?
No.
That was
you
like
say
a
that
week ago.
every single week.
That was our episode.
No,
last
Sebastian
week.
Bissalion owns like 12 episodes
59,
from now.
50. No,
You wore number 60. I have it right in front of me.
So you're telling me
Number
that in like
16?
3 months I'll be ready?
That's
No.
going to be in like early November. Tyler will be long
So
gone
this
by
is-
then.
This is the one that
Don't
came up
joke
today,
about
though,
that.
right? So
That's one of them is one that came up.
Alex Plant.
Well, okay. One of us follows our accounts on social media. That's
me.
Oilers Nation Alt on Twitter.
Okay, you
and
got the easy one.
Official Oilers Nation on Instagram.
You got the easy one that Dan already put up on social media.
What
Who's
era-
the
what
other
era?
48.
What era? What year?
He wore the royal blue home. No, wait, that's the other
This is
guy.
the Royal Blue Home.
Wait, was it Brad Winchester?
No.
Ooh, that would have been close.
He,
was like 45 or something. wasn't
He I think he had like multiple stints with the organization, spent a lot of time in the
Grebishkov?
AHL. No, he was undrafted.
Did we say Grebishkov at the same
I
time?
think so, yeah. I said Grebs, but yeah, I know him personally.
Okay.
No.
Humble brag.
I don't actually at all.
Okay, he shares a last name with a player who has a retired jersey.
Sebastian Bissalion wore number
With the
60
Oilers?
for the Edmonton Oilers.
He wore what?
60.
Okay,
That's what I
whatever.
said.
So he shares a last name with
He
a
shares a last name with an Oilers legend. He spent a lot of time. He was kind of like
Is his first name Curtis?
his first name is not Curtis, but you're on the right path for
Okay.
the correct last name.
Curtis Foster?
No.
Well, I said his name isn't Curtis.
Is it? No.
He spent a lot of time.
Obviously, his last name's Hamilton.
Yes. So it's a Hamilton.
Curtis Hamilton.
It's not Curtis
No.
Hamilton. As I already fucking said, it's not Curtis. Curtis Hamilton. Curtis Hamilton, who signed with the Belfast Giants.
It's the most common name in Edmonton Oilers history.
There's plenty of these guys named.
We had a
Ryan
team,
Hamilton.
Ryan.
Ryan Hamilton. There it
Let's
is.
go.
Oilers legend
Yeah.
Ryan Hamilton.
Yeah. Now the episode is over. Thanks for listening.
How many people
But
tune
my
out during
brain
that?
feels
They're
like it got
what
stretched
the-
I would imagine, like, I'd say on average, we maybe get 15 first-time listeners. I'd say 11 of those first-time listeners are gone by the 2.5-minute mark by the time we're done guessing jersey numbers.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think the jersey number thing is very exciting because
Episode.
it gets
You can play along at home, right?
Yeah,
You
you
can. We don't do it very fast, and there's no fucking
48.
Googling.
everyone slows down.
Brought to you by Skip the Dishes.
Woo! You can order 48
What was your
things at once.
transition? What was your transition there?
Nothing. I just wanted
You
to
just
talk
said
over
skip
you
the
guys.
dishes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
It's brought to you by Skip the Dishes. Skip the Dishes, now the official exclusive provider of Wendy's and all that Wendy's brings to your table.
Just Wendy's. The only thing you can order from skipthedishes.ca is Wendy's. You go
Yeah.
on there and it's just like it's like a
Yes.
large Wendy's. It's just the middleman between you ordering Wendy's.
Skipthedishes.com,
.ca.
one of the presenters of
Skipthedishes.ca.
Oilers Nation Radio podcast.
I
Thanks
go
to
for a
Skip the Dishes.
JBC right now.
Do you guys want to maybe order some Skip the Dishes and then it appears?
Well, we should do this like right when we arrive.
What we should do is order it now, and it'll probably show up during the podcast, and
It
it'll be a
would.
very good look. You want to do it right now?
I just ordered
I'm broke.
we
the
get,
first topic and it just arrived. He just knocked at the door.
Okay,
There it
Tyler,
is.
go
We
on
could
your
interview
computer and
Leon
order.
Draisaitl.
You know what? If this was on video, that would be a hell of a bit for the sponsorship.
Yeah.
We order food, and then the Skip the Dishes
We'll
guy
just-
brings in food and our first topic.
We're going to put this on a webcam at some point.
Why don't
Once-
you order some food right now from Skip the Dishes?
I ate
Okay.
already.
Would
I'm
you?
not hungry.
First topic, boys.
Quesadilla.
For more?
The NHL Network released its top wingers. So they released a couple weeks ago. They released their top centers,
Oh,
Man,
this list was
this
some
was
shit.
Fucking horrible.
and Connor McDavid was at the top of the center list. That's not fucking horrible.
No, you said wingers.
He's the-
But
I
the
know,
rest,
I know.
the
But
rest
then
of
they
that
released-
list was shit.
But they released
James
the,
Neal,
the
top
wingers
20?
list.
Paul was like
Uh,
11th or 13th or something stupid. He was
The list
halfway down the
goes-
second.
I've got the
Horrible.
list right here.
Horrible.
Number one. Guesses?
Yes, Puljujärvi's got to be on
Correct. Correct.
there. Toby Reeder's
Number
on
two.
there.
Okay, you got it already. Number one.
Milan
Nikita
Kitnar.
Kucherov.
I'm down
Sure.
for Nikita Kucherov. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's fine.
Number two. Patrick Kane.
Number 3, Ryan Hamilton.
Sure.
Number 4, the grade 8, Alex Ovechkin.
I don't know if he's still that. Yeah, sure. Why not?
He scores, right?
Who is
He's the most
3?
prolific scorer of all
Wait,
time.
who is 3?
I just said.
Patrick Kane.
Alex Ovechkin. Or no, Kane.
It was
You went
Kucherov.
1, 2,
No,
1.
Kane's
4.
number 2.
Yeah,
No,
who's-
Kucherov is number 1.
And then?
Kane number 2.
And then?
Ovechkin number 3.
Okay.
Brad Marchand number 4.
See, and I
I don't mind that.
don't know. I feel
Marchand's
like
a
that's
really
up
good
a
player.
bit. I feel
Mark
that's
Stone's
up a bit.
better than Brad Marchand.
I think Mark Stone.
Mark
You-
Stone is number 13 on this.
I think you could argue he might be the number 1 winger in the league.
You could, man.
In
If
my
you look
opinion.
at the metrics, like
He's so good.
he's
Like,
so good, man.
His underlying numbers on Ottawa, like that team being as big of a tire fire as it was.
Yeah.
I remember we got into a fight in the office last year, the trade deadline, when Vegas traded for and signed Stone, and you guys were saying that made the Draisaitl contract
Hold
look
on.
better, and I don't think it does because I think Stone is better.
Stone or Draisaitl?
I would take Stone.
I think I would.
And if it's a 1 year thing, sure.
Yeah, if it's
but
a 1 year
long-term
thing,
thing, no, I take Draisaitl.
I'd take Draisaitl.
But for
yeah.
a
Well, that's
1 year go, I take Mark Stone because
but
he's
that's
so.
where that's where the
he's
contract
so-
conversation comes
Yeah, but
in.
it was the RFA UFA thing.
Oh yeah, you can ignore that part and be able to win the conversation every time. That's what I did last year, or the year that the Leafs signed Matthews to that contract.
Leon's the better player.
Or
I take,
sorry,
no, you did that with the
Tavares.
Tavares thing.
I take
that
Leon
stressed out Leaf
each
fans.
time.
Yeah,
Short
of course you do.
contract, long contract. I don't care.
50 goal scorer, no big deal.
Yeah, but you still got to keep the caveat in there of he's a 50-goal scorer playing with Connor McDavid, the best player in the world, and he's a 50-goal scorer who shot like 23% last year,
But the NHL Network said that he has proven that he can do it on his own.
which was
Yeah.
confusing as hell.
This does not happen.
Which is, but at the same time, though, you kind of appreciate that because so many people sit here and say, "Oh, Leon's nothing because he sits there and rides shotgun with Connor all
think
the time." Well, there's a lot of guys who get to ride shotgun with Connor who don't do the near the same amount of fucking work, and Leon is that good to keep up. He does his own stuff on the ice out there.
My counterpoint to what you're saying and to the people that say that Leon
They just don't watch.
isn't good enough.
They don't
is
watch.
You look at Sidney Crosby. You look at Gretzky. Yari Curry was a great player in his own right, and he flanked Gretzky for his entire career. There's a certain level of talent that you have to have, unless you're Chris Kunitz, who just pulled that out of his butt.
The issue with
No,
this
he
con-
had the talent too.
No.
He just did the right spot at the right
we
time.
have to go back and talk about where this conversation stems from, and this conversation has always stemmed from the contract that he signed.
Yep.
Because when he signed his contract, he was signed as a center, and if you went with his top winger comparables,
There's no when you sign a contract,
When
you
he-
don't write your position on it.
no, but
you compare if you go into like salary arbitration, they compare you to other centers.
But what Cam is saying is that
If he went with his best comparable wingers, if we acknowledge that he's a winger, David Pastrnak was the number one comparable at $6.6 million.
And I would
McKinnon.
argue that
$2 million over that.
And I would argue that the Pastrnak contract was more indicative of the fact that Pasternak's agent hates him, and he just likes to play the game of hockey than a talent assessment versus Draisaitl.
So
that's one of those ones where the
this
PA.
argument comes
Yeah,
from. It stems
I
from
agree.
back there. I mean,
And
there's
that's-
nothing wrong with
no.
Draisaitl at $8.5 million. He's really good.
That's always been the dream, though, is that when someday, and it will happen, it happened with Messier and Gretz, it'll happen with Leon and Connor, I think, that Draisaitl will slide back into that number 2 center spot and take it and own it.
Not
unless that
forget,
it's-
he did not have anybody to
And
fucking
that's what
play
I was
with
just gonna
last
say.
year.
It just works right now because he's the player that can click with Connor. We've tried Connor with a lot of guys, except for Jesse Puljujarvi and
Ryan Strome.
Ryan Strome.
You know what was a really good McDavid line mate was Neil Yakupov.
He was for that little bit
Neil
of the rookie-
Yakupov and Benoit Pouliot.
Yeah, that line clicked,
Really nice
man.
McDavid
Didn't-
line.
Didn't
But
we
it's-
make shirts about that line?
Cognac.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
We did have
Yeah.
shirts.
So it's
We had a drink one night too.
yeah.
We did. That was a bad idea.
What was in it?
Cognac.
Oh, it was just cognac. I thought
Yeah.
maybe you made some.
No, this is. I think
Wait,
this was a Mandy's special.
So sorry,
He
I
came up with the idea.
I just want to get the list out there again because I know people are probably like, well,
What
where the
list?
fuck is Leon on this list?
He's sixth.
NHL Network listing, went Kucherov, Kane, Ovechkin, Marchand, Marner, and Draisaitl.
I take
Behind-
Draisaitl over Mitch Marner.
I think
I don't know,
Marner's
man.
based on a lot of potential too, because he hasn't done.
Marner's
He's
pretty
had a good year, but-
Marner's a pretty good player. I'd argue
Sure,
he might
but
be the
there's
best
a-
player on Toronto right now.
No,
What?
he's
Okay,
not,
but-
man. He plays
No,
with
he's not.
John
Whoa,
fucking
whoa, whoa.
Tavares.
Tell
He's
you,
not
best
the best
player
player
on
on
the
that team.
Austin
he might be.
Matthews and John Tavares are better than Mitch Marner.
No,
He's easy.
incorrect. I don't think Austin Matthews is. You could
What?
make the
What?
argument for Tavares.
He turned 2 rookie wingers into like 25 goal scorers, man.
The
Kasperi
rookie
Kapanen's
wingers made
family
him
will
great.
be well off for like 3 generations
Because
because of
of
Austin
Sammy
Matthews.
Kapanen.
Rookies made him look good.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of Marner's success last year, and this is coming from someone that actually watches the team, was John Tavares being as good as he was. And I know you might not like John Tavares. You said it was a bad signing by the Leafs last summer.
Yep.
But John Tavares throughout his career has consistently made players better. Made Matt Molson good.
Anders Lee got a lot better, although he still is very good.
I think if you're the Toronto Maple Leafs, you're kicking yourself for putting a pending restricted free agent on John Tavares' wing. That was a stupid thing to do, and Marner blew up for 94 points. Yeah, probably could have played him on a line instead with like.
Should have put him on the Kadri line, man. Throw Nylander up there.
Shutdown line. Should have thrown him on a line with Freddie Gauthier.
He would have signed him 7x8 this offseason.
Right behind Draisaitl, there was Johnny Gaudreau, then Artemi Panarin, Mikko Rantanen, and then rounding out the top 10 is David Pastrnak.
I would take Pastrnak over Gaudreau.
Yep.
I
can't believe Pasternak's down that low. He's so talented.
I take Panarin over him too.
Where's Panarin?
Yeah, I think I would take Pastrnak.
Panarin's right behind Gaudreau.
And for the record, I know it's down the list here, but I still take Taylor over fucking Gaudreau.
Oh, yeah.
Taylor Hall is number 15 on the
He's
list.
I
would also
take
take Tarasenko.
Yeah, Tarasenko's 14, man.
He's 14
Mark
on
Stone's
that list.
13. Claude Giroux and Blake Wheeler are 11, 12. I'm sorry, but Stone, Tarasenko, Hall, they're all better than...
I think Stone's got to be in the top 5.
Stone has to be in your top 5 or else your list is wrong.
My top 5 wingers. Oh, man, this is really hard, actually. I can't blame them for having a bad list. It's so difficult.
I know.
It's not easy.
You got to isolate players based on who they play
But at
with.
least your top 10 or 12, whether they're in the right spots numerically, should be essentially the same 11, 12 guys.
Would Johnny Gaudreau be in your top 10?
I was just going to say, you got to elevate a guy like
Gaudreau. Top
Gaudreau.
end of it, I think. I'd have to look at all the wingers, but he'd be at like the very end part of the top 10.
You got to elevate Gaudreau, though, because the Flames were better.
At what?
As a team. Like
They had a good year.
They had a good year.
And
so that's why he gets up higher, right? I'm not saying that Draisaitl shouldn't be up higher or anything like that. I'm just saying that's why Gaudreau's up there.
We got to be fair to
Because the rest of his team's good.
Johnny Gaudreau put up 99 points last season. Like, you got to be fair to like what that is.
He could have had 100, but
we're not scoffing at it. We're just saying, top 10 wingers.
If you put up 99 points,
serious...
I think you got to be in the top 10 wingers. Considering the next guy on the team had 82 points, so it's not like he rode.
Yeah.
It's not like he was like it's Kucherov, Stamkos point. Like it's hard to isolate like who the driving force is on that group.
Yeah.
Whereas with Gaudreau, it's pretty clear he's the driving force on the Flames.
Yeah, I think top 10's fair.
Blake Wheeler, number 11.
It's too high for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially when guys like Stone, Tarasenko, and Hall are right below him. Like, to me, that cluster of 3 should slide right ahead of both Giroux and Wheeler.
Man, Mark Stone was so nails in the playoffs last year.
I think we just made ourselves an article, boys, where we have to put out.
Like, look at Mark Stone's
top-
playoff performance
top
last
20
year.
wingers.
7 games, they got knocked out. It was really unfortunate for the Golden Knights. 6 goals, 12 points in those 7 games.
It's nuts,
It's ridiculous.
Man. And he's always been so good in Ottawa.
Super good defensively. Yeah.
So
Damn shame the Senators just kind of were like, no, we don't want this guy.
I think we'll have to put a pin in this one because we're gonna have to come back to this. I'd like to hear everybody's top wingers.
Good talk.
Yeah.
That was rambly and
Did we just get
scrambly.
homework? Did you just give us
I
homework?
did.
This is bullshit.
Big news this week. One Tyler Yaremchuk confirmed it earlier this summer.
Oh, yeah, man. I confirmed it in the spring, baby.
Yeah, that this
I got
was
sources.
that this was happening. He was mocked on Reddit.
So
we
much.
see you Reddit.
This
We read it
jerseys.
on Reddit.
Reddit.
Yeah, the third jerseys
What is
were
Reddit?
leaked.
I've never been on Reddit.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to call you an elder millennial anymore.
I'm definitely an elder millennial. Like I know of Reddit and I've
heard of
perused
it. I just don't know what the hell it is. I used to think it was like.
It's like forum boards.
It's a forum.
It is. It's a
That's
giant.
exactly
it's a giant
how
old
the internet
forum.
started.
Yep.
It's like HF boards, but for
I
like
think it's
everything.
like it's probably the only major website / social media right now that's like old school internet. That's like major.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, kind of new school.
And
Reddit's kinda
MySpace.
like the old school.
Don't forget MySpace. Let's not leave MySpace out of this.
Dan's still on. Still got your MySpace account going?
Facebook is dying. I think.
It
Facebook
won't
is
die
dying a
'cause the
pretty
people
horrible
that are
death.
driving it are 40 and up.
The people who are driving it are dying.
yeah.
Anyways,
they're not close enough. They're at the 40s and ups.
back to the
Your moms and
topic. The third
was the
jersey
topic?
that came out.
Yeah.
So
So what did you do?
everybody's seen it. Tyler Yaremchuk confirmed
I reported
from
it.
When was this?
somebody's rendition
When?
that it was close to the.
I gently nudged a local graphic design artist to make a mock-up, and then I confirmed it.
Yeah. So there's a little peek behind the
Were you
curtain.
the original text that went around this company? Because I remember Wanye sending me a text one day going,
No,
hey,
that
what do you
was
think about this? Was
that was another one.
yeah,
That was a different one, but I know who sent that
Yeah.
original one out, and me and that person put our brains together to get it out.
Wow.
That's an ultimate brain.
But
Tyler's
that
just putting
person-
himself
My
into every
Lord.
single.
Yeah, I
Rumor.
want to give myself credit here because I was getting, like you said, I was getting ripped on like Reddit and
Yeah.
on Twitter and shit. People were like, "You're fucking wrong. This makes no sense. We're never gonna do this." So I'm gonna gloat a little.
You got some
As
love
you
though
should.
afterwards. Like people admitted that they were wrong when they were scamming you,
I haven't seen that.
attacking you. It's lesser known websites, I think. But anyway, so what do we think of what was our thoughts on the jerseys, Rick?
I don't like them, but I think we're putting too much thought and process into jerseys. I know it's the middle of August and there's not much else to talk about.
I bet you they look slick on the ice.
I
They
think
look
that's
in the
something-
mock-up. They look stupid, but I bet you when you put them on the ice, it's like they're similar to like the Carolina Hurricanes ones, the
Winnipeg
Islanders
Jets
ones.
last year.
Yeah, it's like a solid color with like the solid background color with a real popping out like lines color.
Yep.
The Oilers are really leaning into that orange thing.
Yep. I agree. I think that one of the things that we forget when it comes to jerseys is that the Oilers are able to test their stuff in their arena lighting, and so that shit looks cool on the ice. And that's exactly what happened with the Jets jersey last year. The Jets hated it. Jets fans hated that powder or that light blue Jets logo. Coom is showing something to
Are
half
you
the class,
kidding me?
and it's hidden away.
You know, it's the article that.
Oh yeah, fair enough. But yeah, so I think it'll look cool. A lot of people were asking for white. They wanted to see some white on that jersey,
Yeah.
and that's because I think somebody tweeted out that it's them and Tampa are the only two teams that will have no whites on no color of white.
They won't have
on
a
any
single
of
white
their-
player on their team.
No color
That'd
of
be
white
shocking.
on any of their jerseys that they wear. Tyler, what do you think?
Do the Oilers have white on some of their jerseys?
No, I know,
No,
but this
this
third jersey.
specific-
Oh,
one.
on the third. Oh, yeah. It's definitely a move forward. Like I think if you were to poll Oilers fans that are like aged 15 and under, they're going to be huge fans of this, and I think that's the driving force behind it too. Like you want to try to get the young
Yeah,
fans.
but they were
wearing
all
it.
stoked when Lucic got here too, and how the fuck that turned
Okay,
out.
but we're not blaming kids over here, Rick.
Wait.
At the end of the day,
It's a nice, and I don't like it, but I might like it when I see it on ice, and that's kind of my
Yeah.
take.
It's something new. I love the royal blue jerseys, and that's great. But at least they're doing something different.
it's a third jersey that we're going to see for 8 minutes.
We're gonna see it for 1, maybe 2 seasons, and the Royal Blues will be back because I think they've kind of figured this out. If they give you the Royal Blues, take away the Royal Blues, give you back the Royal Blues, take away the Royal Blues, you're gonna buy Royal Blues every step along the way.
doing jerseys with Adidas for?
I don't know how
It's
long the
gotta
deal's
be-
for.
Because
It's gotta go through the next
Reebok
lockout.
for what, like 15 years?
Yeah.
10
Reebok came in at around
After the lockout.
07, so it was what, 10 years? Yeah,
I assume these are all random or pretty standard contracts. I
yeah, like a
guess.
10
I
year.
would imagine it's
jersey
going to
deal.
be 10 years of Adidas.
This jersey conversation and all the conversations on the ON Radio podcast are brought to you by our friends at Skip the Dishes. You're hungry? You need a little pick me up during this podcast? Why don't you head over, download Skip the Dishes app from the App Store, Google Play, or wherever you get your apps from. And why don't you get yourself something nice and hot and fresh delivered to you by the end of this podcast.
You're listening to Oilers Nation Radio, a member
Tom.
of the Nation Network of Podcasts.
Have you ordered or Skip the Dishes order yet or not?
I have. It's already arrived. Somebody's already eaten it. Next up, boys. Taylor Hall. He's in the news today.
Fuck
As
off.
per Garfield.
So can we
Wait,
talk
Tyler,
about
did
what
you not
this
see
means?
this?
So, okay, well, what's that, sorry?
Can we talk about like what this means as per Garfield? Just
We'll
to
talk. We'll
explain?
we'll
It
come
means
back to that in a
absolutely- it
minute.
means
We'll come back to that in a
absolutely
minute.
nothing.
That's another topic that I want to discuss. We'll talk about Odie. We'll talk about the whole crew. But first,
Normal.
the rumor that came out that Taylor Hall wants to come back to Edmonton.
Said he was open to the idea.
He was open to the idea. What do you think? Do you want Taylor Hall back in this team, knowing that it means a whole lot of cap implications? Coom, I know you were looking up the cap
Yeah,
implications.
as soon as
What
I
does that
saw
mean?
this morning, I went and I tried to figure out if they have enough room to make this move this offseason. And if you buy out James Neal, his cap hits around $2 million, save quite a bit of money there. Sam Gagner leaves in free agency. Kyle Brodziak leaves in free agency. That opens you up about like $8.5 million just right there.
There's some cash to be found at the end of this season.
Yeah, there's a lot of flexibility this offseason, but do you want to go and bust your nut and use all of your so desperately needed cap free agency on Taylor Hall? I love Taylor Hall. I think he's fantastic. Trading him was horrible. It set the franchise back a decade, but is, Taylor Hall at this age in this situation rejoining the Oilers the solution? Is he the answer?
Tyler,
Well,
what about Taylor?
He's not the answer, but he's a part of the solution. I think, like, I don't believe this for a second. I don't think we're ever going to see Taylor Hall
He's
in an
turning
Oilers jersey again.
28. He's turning 28 in November.
And you're going to have to go long-term with him,
You're
so
gonna
that's
have to do
something to consider.
7 years, probably $9 million.
Why don't we just get him in on a Patrick Maroon sweetheart deal? Just have him come home, pay him $1 million, win a Stanley Cup.
And make him the face of Rexall Drugs for $8 million a year.
Exactly.
7 times 9, I'd probably do.
7 years?
Yeah. Takes him to 35, but he's the type of player who, even in that 33 range, he's still going to be a quality upper echelon player.
Am I right in saying, in feeling that his game is built around speed, which is one of the first things to go?
Yeah, but I think he's smart enough to adapt as he keeps going. Like, and also Taylor Hall slowing down after the age of 35 won't be your problem. If he slows down between like 33 and 35, that's possible. But I don't think Taylor Hall, 2 years removed from a Hart Trophy, is going to.
32 Taylor Hall is still going to be a great Taylor Hall.
I think he will be. Like, I would do it if the option was there. I think you find a way to make that work. I think your offense would be so good, man. You would have that dynamic 1-2 punch on lines 1 and 2. It's gorgeous. It sets it all up. Just the person that's reporting this is bullshit and always wrong, and I don't think this is going to happen. So simple as that.
We
Yeah,
gotta
I
gotta explain like what's going on with this.
So let's cycle back to that. You're right. There's a Twitter account out there. I think every Oilers fan that's on Twitter knows about them.
Yeah.
Whether they follow them or not. It's at Trina's Oil. It's a seductive photo,
It's a really weird thing.
profile photo.
Super
it's not
creepy.
that person.
Very bizarre to like go and make that photo the photo of your burner account.
Yep.
Very
and
strange.
it's an account that, what would you say, probably 4 times a week, 5 times a week, it tweets out some kind of rumor.
No, I think it goes silent for
It definitely
weeks,
goes silent for weeks,
and then
at a
it'll
time.
come out of nowhere. Like, all we ever heard, like, we caught this one today, and I bet you I think she said one like a week ago, but for a couple weeks before that.
Yeah,
goes away.
because
it just
she
sporadically pops out of nowhere.
she quote unquote jumps
whatever.
on the kind of topic du jour, and then throws in a couple wild cards there, here and there. But I think the Buffalo Rasmus Ristolainen was the last rumor that she really jumped upon, and then other people mock her because every tweet that she tweets, she cites her source as Garfield.
Per Garfield. So what this source is, and what I've heard and come to believe, is that it's a member of the media here creating a burner account that they use, and they reference this per Garfield, and Garfield is also them. So they're creating a burner to reference themselves as a pseudonym.
Which is just
very,
wild.
very weird 3D chess thing
Yeah.
to be doing when you can probably just use your platform to come out and be like, I'm here and this might happen.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody would bat an eye.
Here's what I'll say. I'm trying to think of the members of the media. I don't know which members of the media could have figured this out. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just knowing.
You're saying that it's somebody that has to be connected?
Well, like, knowing someone on a very surface, or knowing some of them on a very surface level, like, I like try to run through the mainstream media. Which one do you think is doing this? Because we've seen a lot of the mainstream media try to tweet from their own accounts, and sometimes that doesn't go too well. Like, which one's...
That's a fair take.
Right, though, right? Like, it's not like Edmonton has this like huge network of mainstream media that are always buzzing, reporting things on Twitter.
Yep.
I think if there was a member of the mainstream media who could get scoops like this and honestly believe they were good scoops, they would be tweeting it out themselves. Was my
Another
point.
thing that's really weird about here in our media scene is that frequently our local guys don't break trades.
Yeah.
It's always like Elliot, like the one was Gene Simmons broke
Gene
Gene
Principe.
Principe.
Gene Simmons.
God, I wish Gene Simmons broke a trade for the Oilers.
Gene Simmons from Kiss broke a
damn,
trade.
that'd be good.
He's like, I'm sorry, Milan, if this is wrong.
Who's been checked out for a week and a half already?
That was a middle of August mistake right there. Holy fuck.
Gene Principe.
Gene Principe, Oilers media legend, excellent person,
Pun guy.
Great
King
guy.
of puns.
fantastic Gene
Love him.
Principe. Everyone loves Gene Principe, and it was great to see him break that trade because everyone likes Gene Principe. But oftentimes we see it's Bob McKenzie, Elliot Friedman breaking trades.
Yep.
Yeah.
Darren Dreger.
It's an interesting thing. So that's what I've heard about the Trinas Oil account.
Yeah.
Take that for what you will. Maybe it is just a retired porn star with a large chest. I don't know.
So, and I think that's like,
retired.
I think that
Well, it was supposed to be a retired porn star. That was the talk on HF boards.
Oh, really?
I remember there was a big thread on HF boards back in the 2008-9 era, and people were talking about Trinas Oil, and they're like, "What is this?" And somebody was like, "Oh, Trinas Oil is a retired porn star who gave up porn to talk about hockey."
Talk about the Oilers.
Well, that's
I've
probably
never
what you-
seen Garfield or Trina get involved in any of their team.
There it is. Retired porn star just there to talk about the Edmonton Oilers, and Garfield is
Everyone loves the
Garfield
Oilers.
from the comics.
Like some of these other tweets though, like on the July 23rd, Marcus Leto has been given permission to seek a trade and has been talking to other teams to gauge interest per Garfield. Well, no shit.
Yeah.
On
What do
July 23rd.
you don't have to give an agent
Well-
permission to seek a trade.
And that's
And also,
where,
Puljujärvi's an RFA. Are you fucked?
and that's where all these like rumor accounts, they seem to gain the traction the most in the summer when we are starved
Oh yeah.
for anything. And they're
That's-
just feeding
that's-
off of that. And that's
But that
fair.
was obvious stuff there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
Any
that's,
one
yeah,
of
yeah,
us
that
could have said
tweet
the
is for
exact
sure.
same fucking thing.
For sure. But that's where the Eklund BuzzFeed kind of.
But that's a difficult thing is like the reality with Twitter, and everyone thinks they have a source because everyone knows someone that works for a team, and everyone goes and, runs amok on their rumors that they've heard. And I mean, there's tons of people out there on Twitter that pretend to have sources that don't.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, it's so common on every fan base, every
Well-
sport. Like everyone has like a sort of an inside where it's like, oh fuck, like they told me one thing that actually ended up being true, and now they just kind of like spout thoughts, and like I'm going to take those thoughts and pretend they're gospel.
Yep.
And that's a lot of what happens. But I think this account there's a little bit more of an inside there.
On August 15th, I'm all for it. No problem. I'll take it as gospel.
Sure, why not?
Taylor's coming home.
If it's giving us something to talk about, I don't give a fuck because it's super boring right
hockey.
now.
I want hockey right now. This summer has been horrible. It's been short. It's been shitty. We should have started training camp about a fucking month ago.
Well, Eklund built an empire off of that. And
he's right sometimes. I remember.
He is.
I
Well,
remember
he has to know. Like,
He
listen,
is
he's
at,
been
like,
around way
90.
too.
See, the thing is with
He's
that
been
guy.
so big for so long that he has to know some people.
But that's the thing with like the sources like that. It's like if you just throw your crap at the wall and see what sticks. Like if you talk to everyone that has a connection with a team.
Yeah, but I
and they
bet
just tell you nonsense.
I
you're gonna be
bet
right
you we
sometimes.
hear of all the trades that get made is 6% of every fucking conversation that's out there. So a lot of the stuff he says is probably preliminary conversation stuff that may
And there's a lot of preliminary
that may never
conversations.
go past that one conversation. But it's how do you get your clicks?
Someone did a deep dive on on Eklund's statistics a couple years ago. It was like 2015, and they said he has like a 98% incorrect rate.
Yeah, but what does he say? He's not putting out there.
That stuff's gonna happen. He's reporting
Yeah, he's
rumors.
just like these are talks. These are talks.
But he's a
talks.
guy. But he's a guy that when he gets something right, he's one of those guys that's like, "Hey, look at me."
Oh, for sure.
If
Whatever.
only
But,
I called
but
that.
his whole job is to get clicks, and that's good. That's I don't go. Well, I still do every now and then, but I'll go look at it every now and then just because I want to see something.
Rick,
You got to do it.
no,
You don't read the National Enquirer when you're going through
I
the
don't.
checkout stand.
I really
No.
don't. I just don't. I have
I
a
seen
finite amount
I
of
seen how many
things.
things that were open on your internet upstairs. I guarantee
Yeah.
you some of that's got to
Nope.
be some
No,
fluff
I
in there
try to-
somewhere.
I try to just stay away from it all. I've never been a person that like, I shouldn't say that I've never been. Up until the Danny Heatley trade, I was like all in on that stuff and I would follow along with it. But after that, I just kind of,
What ruined it for me was it was a few years back, and the Blue Jays had apparently signed Yu Darvish.
oh yeah,
And the thing with Japanese pitchers is you put up a
right. You
bid.
got to put that
Weren't they
bid in.
close?
They were reported to have signed Yu Darvish, and it turned out that
They were
the
like
organization like
7.5s.
really lowballed the Yu Darvish's Japanese club, where you have to you got to get the
Yeah,
highest
it's a
bid.
soccer. It's a soccer star,
Yeah,
right?
and then you have the right to negotiate with Yu Darvish a contract. So it's like soccer style. Most of your money goes to that baseball team, and the Jays really they really underbid, and it was all a big hoax to get fans excited to make it look like they were trying. And then they leaked out to the media here that in Toronto, not here, that Darvish had signed with the Jays, and I was so excited, so fucking.
And that's where I was
My heart
frustrated
got
with
broken.
the Danny Heatley trade because that was leaked out by Brian Murray. And he put it out into the media that it was a done deal.
Would you rather know this stuff
before.
or not know this stuff? 'Cause I'm 100%
I wanna
on
know
board
it.
of knowing it.
It's cool
It
to
can
know
be
it.
wrong. That's fine. I want to know everything.
It's cool to know it, and like I've liked as much as I dislike the guy, I've enjoyed Brian Burke because he
Burke's
opens
great.
up when he's a GM
I love
and lets
Burke.
cameras follow him on the draft floor and stuff, and that's cool to me. That's where the whole Nazem Kadri pick came from, where he wanted to. He knew that Ottawa wanted him.
You call him Nazem?
Did I?
Nazem Kadri.
Nazem, sorry.
What was that
Uh,
story again for people who didn't see it?
Yeah, so he was on the floor and he was mic'd up, and you could hear him say, "We know you want," and he was talking to the Senators GM at the time. I think it was
Brian
Murray.
Murray.
Yeah. And he's like, "We know you want Kadri. What are you going to give him for us, or give us for him?" And Murray's like, "Well, I don't want to do that." And he's like, "Okay, well, we'll take him." And he walked away.
And then the pick after that must have been Jared Cowan.
Yeah, that would have been the Cowan year.
Yeah, and so it was like that kind of stuff. When you get a glimpse into that, that's fascinating to me. But it's the stuff that just never will be confirmed that drives me wild.
But the only way that's different is if you got to see that on television. But if someone told you they were standing next to there and reported that exact same conversation, you're not going to like it as much because you didn't get to see it.
Yeah, I find it intriguing, but I just don't. I don't consume.
No,
I don't go out.
You love that shit. Like we sit around the table and we talk about player X sleeping with player Y's sister. We talk about like so and so being in the room and leaving. Like, we all love this shit, man. Don't kid yourself. Like if you have a faint source, go out there and say what happened and let people talk about it on Twitter, man. Like July, August is so boring. Just give me all your nonsense and let's talk.
Beginning of July is a lot of fun.
Yeah, beginning of July is fun. But what I'm talking about is the slog from July 15th to the end of August. It sucks ass.
Starting today.
Exactly. It's ugly as shit. So give me all your nonsense. If your friend's dad's ex-girlfriend, I don't fucking know, works for the team in social media and they overheard something, let me know what nonsense you heard. That's fun. That's what sports is all about. It's about having conversations.
If you don't take it too seriously, like I'm not reading a rumor about Mike Hoffman from Trina's Oil and like custom ordering a jersey because I'm pretty sure he's coming, right? Like it's not happening.
I guess my thing is the difference between talking up at the table and looking online for this stuff is that I actually trust you guys.
Right. Yeah, like the thing with this, it's fun to talk about, but if you're going to go and you're going to try and be a big deal on Twitter with your pretend source, you're a fucking loser. Yeah. Don't do that. Yeah. But go and make it.
There's a good message.
Yeah, just like go and like have conversations and like have fun about it. Don't try and like, if you're not a media member, don't like pretend to be. Don't swing your dick around. It doesn't matter. Nobody gives a shit. So like, just make it fun. Let's chat about stuff that we've heard.
Unless you correctly report the third jersey, then you can wag your dick around.
This is like, I've just been very passive aggressive to Tyler the whole time. I know this guy pretends to be an insider. He's a fucking joke.
This great social media messaging, very friendly talk is brought to you by our friends at Sherwood Ford. Sherwood Ford, the giant, just the absolute we have some great partners and I don't want to slight them at all, but Sherwood Ford does something every month and I'm just like, man, it's such a cool partnership that we have going with them. This month, Sherwood Ford has the Nation Truck participating in a thing called the Chase for the Cure, where they're going to go out to the speedway there out in what do they call that now?
Castrol.
Yeah, where's that located though? They call that, is that Leduc now? Or is that somewhere else?
South of Edmonton, north of Leduc.
Yeah, south of Edmonton, north of Leduc.
Right in that little nook.
Castrol is a British global brand of industrial and automotive lubricants offering a wide range of oils, greases, and similar products.
I think you're going the wrong way.
Correct.
Fuck, am I looking at the wrong thing?
Correct.
Damn it.
So the Nation truck will be out there racing in that to raise some money. But if you go down to Sherwood Ford in Sherwood Park, Alberta, and you do a test drive anytime during this month, they will donate to the cause. They're the best group of people. They support our podcast. They keep us on the air, keep us coming to your earwaves every day.
We should promote one salesman per month.
We should do like an inside the sales.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Head down there and ask for Todd. Tell him we sent you.
I like that.
And Todd likes doing this. Yeah, you know what? That's a hell of an idea. Let's write that down.
We're gonna
put it in an email.
But we're only gonna pimp out car dealers who have talked to someone who's cousins with a scout for the Oilers that overheard this that Taylor Hall already has a contract.
Well, that's how we get our sources.
Exactly.
So a huge thanks to Sherwood Ford for supporting ON Radio Podcast.
Thank you.
Follow Oilers Nation on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Are we gonna do my hypothetical?
Next up on the podcast, we're back.
We're back.
Coom talked through that entire ad.
What?
I don't know if Tyler will keep it in there.
Well, we got these cool new little pieces of production for the podcast, and you keep talking while they're playing. Your mics don't get muted.
So this is the problem.
Do you know who that was talking? Like, he's not going to be happy.
This is an issue.
I'm not sure if he's going to listen to our podcast, but we don't need to ruin his voice and our stuff.
No, he listens to the podcast.
Does he?
I confirm that rumor.
Well,
I'll put it out
he's
on
got
Twitter.
like an hour and a half when he's combing his hair, right? So what else is he going to
This is one of the issues with me not wearing headphones while we're recording the podcast. I have no idea what's happening.
Well, that's true, actually.
See,
I just kind of assumed we had an awkward pause.
He checked out like a week and a half ago.
I have not checked out. I will never check out.
What day do you leave the country?
Hold on. Nobody knows that he's leaving.
I've not announced this.
You guys just decided for him that he's going to be announced that he's
Right.
leaving.
Well, I guess it's out in the open now.
Do you want me to take it out?
Oh no, I don't give a shit.
No, you got to leave this in there.
You know, a little tidbit.
So hold on, I'm going to do the lead in for you. following the departure of an intern, following the departure of a former podcast producer, following the departure of another intern that was no longer an intern by the time he departed. Coom, what's the news for us?
I got a work visa to move to the United Kingdom.
We're forcing you to move to the United Kingdom and cover the Belfast
They're
Giants.
sending me back. My ancestry is Northern Irish. They moved over to Canada on a floating door during the potato famine, and I am going back.
We are back.
To plant
Coom's
many,
gonna walk
many,
into
many
Ireland
potatoes.
and just yell out, "We are back!"
So yeah, I'm gonna be like 8 hours in the future.
The important thing for everybody listening,
You're gonna know
is
every
that-
score of the Oilers games.
Exactly.
is
So
that Coom is
sports
yeah.
gambling is gonna be crazy at this table.
Coom is not leaving; he is just leaving.
If
that makes
I'll
any
be
sense.
remote. I'm going on a nice little long vacation.
Coom will still be running Blue Jays Nation, correct?
Correct.
He will still be bringing you his spitting hot takes of how much better Mitch Marner is than Leon Draisaitl.
I don't think that's accurate.
And we will
If
have
we're
him,
talking Mark Stone, then sure.
Yes, we will have him coming in to this podcast, still checking in with us, letting us know how.
Yeah, if Tyler can figure out how to get people to Skype in, then I can do a little late night Skype in.
Yeah, man, I know how to get you
Drinking
to
myself
Skype
a
in.
nice big Guinness, watching sports over there, and I come on the podcast.
you
Somebody
gonna-
please take a photo of Coom right now.
It's drinking
This is-
the right out of the.
This is the
bottle
checkout
of
photo.
vodka.
I love it.
I'm not doing anything wrong.
No, so next week will be Coom's goodbye episode, but this week we have some more things to talk about, boys.
If anybody wants to come to my going away party, it's next Friday.
Where is
Where?
Nope. not saying it's at a former establishment that we aren't allowed to support anymore, even though we have one of the people
I know where it
working
is.
here.
If
So
anybody
the
wants to
prospects.
if anyone wants to come visit me, then feel free.
Yes, come visit Coom downtown near 109th.
Oh, I thought the offer was to go visit him in
Yeah,
Ireland.
come visit me. That's what I was saying.
Oh,
come
yeah,
visit me in
that too.
Ireland.
I don't know why
Are
anybody
you
would
guys gonna
Ireland.
come? Who's gonna come?
I gotta
Well,
go.
I'm afraid if I don't drink the right kind of whiskey, that Conor McGregor is gonna punch me in the face.
Oh,
Ooh, I haven't seen this. I just keep
okay,
hearing about
it's
it.
alleged. It's still
It
alleged.
doesn't matter what whiskey you drink as long as
But-
you're
Yeah, like
But yeah, he's in a
you
bar.
But dude, the guy is 50,
Did you
Yeah.
see?
if
yeah,
not older.
So he's at a bar. He's got. We'll set the stage for people that haven't seen the video. We'll put it up on our social media probably. But he's at a bar. Yeah, we're all wrestling. He's at a bar. He is very clearly aggressively selling his new whiskey.
He seemed to be fine though. Like there's nothing, no body language that made me think.
But he
that,
he has that posture and
yeah, and that's
feeling
fine.
of
But
being
that's what I understand.
being a
Kinda,
tough
you
guy.
know, he kind of walks with his chest first.
If you're a
I get
mixed
it, you're a
martial
little
arts fighter, you have to be in the headspace that
Who
at
buys
any
the
given
beers?
moment you're ready
He's
to
also
give
a li-
and take.
He's also
punch.
a little guy.
Yeah, he's like 5'1".
Yeah, so
He's
they're
got short man syndrome. He's-
exactly.
So
But
at
whatever.
the bar,
I
there's
didn't
a-
even know what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
I thought it was the guy behind him that was gonna have an
Yeah.
issue with.
So there's a portly older gentleman sitting at the bar, and he just doesn't seem to give any fucks.
And where did this happen? Where was this?
I'm assuming
Dublin,
England,
maybe?
Ireland,
London?
somewhere in there,
You're
somewhere
trying
where
to
you're
find
going.
him already.
I'm just interested
Um,
to see if this is where this is going on because I'm moving there.
And allegedly,
Or
he
maybe
turned
I go
down.
kick Conor McGregor's ass.
I think you should.
Allegedly, he turned down a shot of Conor McGregor's brand new personal brand of whiskey, and so Conor cold cocked him in
Gave
the
him a
face.
shot.
The guy took it like a champ. Conor should be pretty embarrassed.
Yeah, it wasn't
A
the
50-year-old
greatest punch,
dude.
But yeah, I really still I don't know where that comes from because there's no like heated yelling, no pushing,
Yeah.
just kind of like leaning in and
The guy's
whatever,
looking forward
and then
the
just
whole
took-
time.
Then just took like a pop at him.
Yeah.
You know who wouldn't punch you for not drinking his whiskey?
Wayne Gretzky.
Mm-hmm.
Wayne Gretzky just wants to drink all of his own
Whoa!
whiskey.
Sorry, I'm just watching this McGregor video for the first
Yeah,
time.
it's
Yeah, it's crazy, eh?
pretty
What
shocking.
the hell are you doing, man?
It's really
Yeah.
weird.
So
And he's
well,
like, dude, look how old the guy is.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If you're that guy and you're a mixed martial art fighter, you're like, not only have you lost it since, but you lost it a long time ago.
there's
Like you're going into the octagon, you're fighting, you're nuts. And like after getting punched in the face so many times, you're even beyond nuts. You're post nuts. And now
I've
this guy
s-
he's on all the time. There's no switch off. I
I've
think it's
spent
just
a lot of
forever.
time. I've spent a lot of time living
It's
with
gonna be
guys
great in WWE.
training in MMA. I've worked with guys that ended up working or competing in the UFC. They are wired differently. It's a different
no.
thing. And then you add in the ultimate issue, which is alcohol, and mistakes get made.
Well, I was gonna say that's some guys definitely, but there's a lot of guys out
Oh,
there
no,
who
and
once they
I'm
walk
not-
out of the octagon,
no, 100%,
and when it comes to any type of
100%.
confrontation outside the octagon, the guys are just like
Nicest
no,
guy,
nothing's gonna
nicest guy I've ever met. Lived with him for a while is Ryan Jimmo. He was killed in he was murdered here in Edmonton
Okay.
about 2 years ago. But he was in the UFC. And
Why did he get murdered?
It's a whole story. If I remember it correctly, he was in a parking lot. Somebody had cut him off. He went and lipped off at the guy, and then he was walking back to his truck, and the guy revved up the engine and drove over him.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
it's the stupid road rage shit.
Yeah, but nicest guy you've ever met. He has one of the fastest knockouts in UFC history in his debut.
That's gone now.
Ryan
I'm
Jimmo.
assuming.
Yeah, it is one of the fastest, but not the fastest. Nicest guy you've ever met. Never had an issue away from the ring. But then I've seen
Well, he did
guys
have the
that,
one issue, getting cut off.
yeah.
And that was the one and only.
But anyway, so yeah, not generalizing MMA fighters at
But
all.
McGregor is definitely
But McGregor would be one
a
of the
couple
ones where
short,
it's-
and yeah,
He'd be the stereotypical,
100%.
right?
But one of the things
What
I
were
wanted
we
to talk
talking
about,
about?
Yeah, there's
What-
no
yeah,
phone
what
time.
happened
Just-
here?
it just came back to me. What I wanted to talk about was I don't even know
Because
how
we were
we got
talking
to
about
the
how I
topic.
was going away, and then I asked if Rick wanted to come visit.
I was talking.
You said
whiskey.
about he was
And then
afraid of
you
going
said
to
you
it
wouldn't
about the
come.
whiskey.
I wanted
Yeah.
the whiskey.
Okay, so
I brought up the
People can
booze.
rewind the podcast and go back to that part if they want.
Anyways,
but
so
now we're
moral
going
of
to
the
talk
story
about
is why do we even start about me leaving? Oh, because Tyler said that I mailed it in.
Kyler Dodge.
I'm not.
No,
mailed
I
it.
didn't say mail it in.
You
I
said
definitely. I
mailed
said
it
it
in.
twice now.
I mailed it in.
I don't know if everyone.
I
heard
mailed
the
it
first
in
time, so I brought
months
it back
ago.
10 minutes later.
So I ventured down to Roger's place a week ago.
Is this when you took my
pick up
YMCA
some-
pass?
Yep.
So you could park? How good is that?
It is amazing.
If you're a member of the,
Okay.
of the YMCA, you can park downtown at the YMCA for 3 hours for free.
That's an Oilers game.
Whenever. Yeah, exactly.
So
I know where you can also park for free for before an Oilers game and after.
So I was down at the Rogers Place to pick up some tickets. Rogers Place hooked up by our All Wrestling website with some tickets to their WWE event in September.
Did they show
Um,
SummerSlam there?
No, not at Rogers Place.
Oh, I thought I saw.
They're having a live event.
We had
aren't they?
we had an event at the Brew House.
Yeah, no, I
where
thought
they
I saw a
showed
watch
that.
party at Rogers.
No.
That really blew my mind.
No, they kept retweeting All Wrestling though.
Yeah.
So shout out to them. But anyways, was down there and I don't know. Have you guys been to Rogers Place since the season ended?
No.
No.
So you'll probably remember it. Most people will remember it for the walk up to the Ford Hall entryway where you go up the escalators.
Yes.
It was just a tunnel
The construction
for
zone,
humans.
right?
Yeah, it was a construction zone. You were walking through a construction zone with chain link on either side of you and that kind of thing. That's all gone now. So all the chain link has been removed. So there's quite a big berth there, and then you walk in.
When you leave. Fort Hall?
When you leave Ford Hall or when you come
at
in.
the end of the game.
Yeah, from just across the street from Crash Hotel.
Yeah. When you're leaving the game.
Yep.
Okay, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
so that portal used to just be a walkway. Now
Portal.
it's an open area.
What's there?
Portal.
There is a Rexall pharmacy that's established and good to go.
Good. I usually need an Advil after a game.
Yep, exactly. And then
you
they've
can
got
buy sleeping pills after you watch the Oilers lose 4-0 to the Arizona Coyotes.
If we lose 4-0 to the Coyotes, I might be asleep already.
I went to a game where they lost 4-0 to the Coyotes.
and
Might have been
then,
this year, might have been last year, might have been the year before. I don't know.
You got the Stantec Tower, and then that opens on to 100 and I think it's 101st.
Sure.
If you keep walking down that way, but then they have this
Fucking
giant,
geography Dan over
yeah,
Is there
here.
a
they have
hot
this
dog stand?
giant circular. I'm sure there will be. There's this giant circular feature that's being put in there. But anyways, what I'm trying to get at is that Ice District is coming along.
Okay.
It's been what, 3 years now since we started this whole thing,
Yep.
and I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, is it taking too long? Are they gonna?
I don't have anything
Is
to
it gonna
base
be
it
a beautiful
against.
spot?
I
Yeah,
have
like
nothing to base it. I don't know what the timing's supposed to be. I don't understand.
I mean, for me, I don't spend a lot of time in the downtown area. So when I do go, I'm going for an Oil Kings or an Oilers game, right? So
You
for
only
me,
spend time in downtown St. Albert.
hell yeah. But when I do go, it's like walking into the rink and then walking out of the rink kind of thing. So as long as the rink was good and operational and nice, and for the most part it is. So yeah, I think
Man,
I don't
those
know.
escalators though, they can't keep those well.
I don't care
Those
that
are-
much about what's going on like around there. I'm just happy that it's there.
See, my
Yeah.
thing is
It's
that
just
I,
nice that it's
once
downtown.
things, because we're not used to it, once things start to get there,
Yeah.
then you'll start to enjoy
that's
it more.
where-
Yeah,
that's where I got
if there's
excited.
Cool stuff, then that's awesome.
because I was, it's one of those things where you're just used to walking down a tunnel and not seen anything.
But it did get to a
anyways.
point where it seemed kind of like there was going to be never-ending construction around the arena. It's kind of weird.
I feel
Well,
like
that's
where's
my
the
thing.
LRT bucket guy now? Is he out there?
Ooh, I don't know. That's a
That'd
good
be a
question.
good spot for him,
Yeah, it'd be a decent little spot. I don't
right?
know.
Because
If
you
they'll
do. I
have-
don't know where you go before the game, but after the game, that's definitely where you go.
Yep, I agree.
I like LRT bucket guy.
He's good stuff.
All right,
If we
so
could get him on the podcast, that'd be great.
he's just banging the drums.
Oh, get him to do an intro.
Yeah.
Fuck, that'd be cool.
My
I'm so excited now.
Let's do
That'd
it.
be fucking dope.
Do you want to go find him and ask?
not to give him
Well,
some
during
cash.
hockey season, I will.
Fairly certain he'll be at the Coliseum LRT station.
Is he always there, or does he travel to where the events are?
He goes where the Eskimos are. He goes to the Eskimos games.
Does he?
Okay,
We
can I
have
ask
one coming up.
since we're talking about arenas, I want to ask a hypothetical.
Yeah.
So the Calgary Flames will not be moving to Houston. They're staying in Calgary because they agreed to build a new stadium downtown. Saddledome, bad. You can't play there anymore. It's inadequate. But they still have that stadium there. So what if somebody offered you $1 million? You get $1 million yourself, cash right
Yep.
now. You get $1 million. But the Oilers move to Calgary
No.
and become, they're called Flames 2.
Nope.
And they play in the Saddledome.
Yeah, man. I don't give a
Will you
shit
take
about
$1 million?
any.
But
I don't give a shit about any.
And
sports team.
everyone knows it's
Yeah.
your fault.
Oh no,
That's the
no,
caveat.
no.
Tyler Yaremchuk is the reason the Oilers
Could you
are now
imagine the
Flames 2.
texters? And you're sitting here and you're like, Flames 2.
He's got $1 million. I hope he's not keeping his job.
I was just going to say, you'd have to quit.
You'd have
It's
to-
only $1 million. 2019, man. Like, what are you going to do? You can't settle down on that.
No, you can't. You'd have to I'd have to pull a coom and be like, "Peace out. I'm going to the UK," and you'd have to leave as soon as you
So
get your
you
money.
would take this and you'd move to the UK with
No,
me.
I wouldn't. This
You wouldn't
is
move to the UK with me.
No, I wouldn't move to the UK with you. I
You
wouldn't
wouldn't
move the
move to
Oilers.
the UK with me with $1 million.
I wouldn't move the Oilers to Calgary if everyone knew it was me. If I could do it secretly, yeah, man, $1 million.
What's the issue? Like, they're right down the street. It's 2 hours away.
Exactly.
I'm not the fucking Rough Riders fan. I ain't driving from here to fucking Regina 2.5 hours to go
For $1
see
million.
a fucking game.
$1 million.
No, I'm gonna ride the.
You're fast approaching the emerald age of
I'm
40, and
telling
you
you,
can use $1 million.
We're right around the corner, man. I'm gonna.
See, with me and Tyler, we're both
You guys
children.
still got
$1
plenty of
million
time left.
doesn't do shit. You're in at an advanced age where you can look at retirement. Whereas Tyler and I, $1 million, that doesn't even buy you a home. Most major
It
cities.
gets you a damn house.
Gets
Does
you
it?
an all right house, yeah.
It gets you
Not in
a
Vancouver.
fucking condo in Sherwood Park.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it. I love the Oilers too much. If no one knew it was me,
If you were anonymous,
if I was anonymous, I might do it just because $1 million at this point in my life is still fucking sweet, and I'd have enough faith that at some point they get moved back. So
no, they would get. Maybe they get another team relocates.
yeah, I'd have enough faith that in like 10
Carolina
years,
Hurricanes
We
relocate
can't have 3
here.
teams in Alberta. Come on.
So what happens is the Oilers move to Calgary and become Flames 2, and they're playing in the Saddle Dome. And then
Flames
the
alt.
Carolina Hurricanes move here, and then we have the 2006 banner hanging up in Rogers.
I'm leaving. Disgusting.
this is literally
Disgusting.
if you
This
didn't
is
tune out
horrible.
after the numbers thing at the beginning, you tuned out now.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
At
So,
this point, nobody's listening to the podcast, so we can
No
talk.
wonder you were shipping you away.
speaking of terrible takes, all these terrible takes are brought to you by
Coom. And only Coom.
I'm the sponsor of the podcast.
We're the
Sherwood
We're
Ford.
drinking vodka out of the bottle.
Sherwood Ford supports the podcast.
I hope that's the cover photo for the article.
You can follow at Sherwood Ford _ the Giant on Instagram, at Sherwood Ford on Twitter, or you can go visit them yourself in Sherwood Park, Alberta.
just
Beautiful.
past the Costco.
Sherwood Park, Alberta, just past the Costco.
You can
Or
go
if you're
and get
coming north, it's just past the Northlands Coliseum offices.
in Sherwood.
Yeah. Doesn't that blow your mind?
Really? That's weird.
Yeah.
What's
Hey.
your favorite thing about Sherwood Park, Dan? You live
Other
in
than
Sherwood
Sherwood Ford? Other than Sherwood Ford.
Sure.
It's my Donair spot.
Which one's that?
Roma Donair. Beautiful little spot on Y Road. There you go. So go check it out. Roma Donair and Sherwood Ford. Sherwood Ford this 2 weeks from now at the Nation Golf Tournament, of which we have one spot available.
One more.
They will be giving away the Nation truck, or trying to.
If you hit a home run.
If you hit a hole in one on their hole, They will give you the Nation
They
truck.
want to get rid of that truck so fucking badly.
Jay will no longer have a vehicle on
No,
his
you get
hands.
him in the car. He's in the passenger seat and he's on a phone
He
call the
sleeps
whole
in
time.
the-
You
sleeps
get
in the
the
back.
car. You get the car, but you have to be his personal driver.
I don't think Jay...
You drive him around and he's on a phone call the whole time.
Got to be honest, I think Jay is going to be
He
too
doesn't get his own
devastated to
phone
be...
calls anymore,
to be
so
handled.
Someone's got to drive him around now.
So
too.
you got to drive around and take the phone calls for him. He just sits there.
This episode brought to you by Sherwood Ford. Thanks to sponsors.
The best thing.
I thought you were gonna hit the
best
button.
part
Oh
is
no, we
shirt
already
part.
did it twice, and there's like 5 minutes left in the podcast.
Oh
so-
my
How long have we been
gosh.
recording for?
Well, we've already been going for 50 minutes.
No.
Okay, well, I had my own hypothetical.
Okay,
What's that?
hypothetical.
Oh, this
Let's end
one,
it on a Dan hypothetical.
So it is prefaced by a visual, which is perfect for podcast. I sent it to the boys, except for you, Rick. I'm sorry, wasn't sure.
You
if you
send
were
it to
gonna
me
show up.
and Tyler with no
But
context.
it's a jersey. It's a jersey concept from my friends, who I love over at Aesthetics.
Okay, wait. Let's get Rick to
.com.
explain what he thinks this is, just based on the email. Because
So, but hold on, I want to preface it a little bit because
it's
Aesthetics.com
funnier if you just
website has concepts, and this is one of the concepts. Go ahead.
read just what Dan sent.
No.
These jerseys forever, but
Yeah.
So Dan sends an email, and
pinstripes.
it
They're weird.
it just, Dan sends
So-
an email to me and Tyler, but not Rick, at like
It's
1
true.
1 p.m. and it just says the
All
header
42.
line is hypothetical question, and then the body of the email is these jerseys forever, but, and it's an aesthetics screenshot with these two fucked looking jerseys. Like
So
the one
we'll-
on the left is white, and it looks like Yankees pinstripes mixed with an Oilers jersey.
Yeah, I don't mind the.
I'm putting them on our social media right now, so people listening will get
They're,
a chance
they're
to see
just
them.
they're insane.
But
So that social media is
no, you can do
at
this.
ON Radio Podcast on both Twitter and Instagram.
You can do these, but there's one change that needs to be done to them, and there's going to be some people who do not know what I'm referring to, but those need to be Cooperalls. If those are Cooperalls, then we're rolling.
What is Cooper Rolls?
Cooperalls were like the whole one-piece pants,
Oh,
like
the pants,
Flyers
the inline
wore.
pants.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
wear an
kinda,
inline.
yeah.
Those are fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
California
No,
Golden
but so
Seals
yeah,
wore
look
those.
at the blue one.
Yeah,
You throw some
fair.
Cooperalls in there. I think you need something to break up the top and the,
The
bottom because
pants-
it's just like
Yeah.
one. So it's a onesie otherwise. But even the Yankees pinstripe, you throw some Cooperalls on there. Oh, hot damn, we're talking.
So that's my hypothetical.
It's just that.
Is
See, if you're gonna do a third
No,
jersey, go way the
no,
fuck out of it and
it's
go like that.
you get to sign Taylor Hall next summer,
For what?
$9 million for 7 years.
So you sign Taylor Hall to like a potentially problematic contract, and the Oilers also wear these fuck jerseys.
And they have to wear those jerseys for the rest of
His
their
contract.
life. The rest of their life.
Oh, whatever. I don't
They
care.
don't get to change
Win me
the jersey.
Stanley Cups, and I don't care for what they're playing buck ass naked.
Okay. Coom?
Well, yeah, man, I don't give a fuck. Like, you get a good player out, yeah, let's do it.
Tyler, would you put those jerseys on the Oilers for the rest of their lives?
If
Taylor
it means
Hall?
Taylor Hall's here, no, not for. No, because but you can do it without Taylor Hall. Here's the hypothetical I want, but I'm putting it on the social media right now. The Oilers get 2 Stanley Cups in the next 10 years, but they have to wear those for the rest of eternity, forever and ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Are those
What?
homes and aways?
Homes and
I'm
aways.
in. Sign
Yeah.
me up. Let's go.
It's interesting.
I would.
That
I mean, they
just
might
get-
win
it's
2 in the
tough.
next 10 anyway.
It's
That
interesting.
guarantees me 2 in the 10, and
Yeah.
outside the 10 is a question mark, just like it normally is.
Yeah.
But you're guaranteeing me 2 in 10. Yeah, I'm jumping on
Do you
right
take
now.
Do you take the Oilers winning the Stanley Cup for the next 5 years in a row? And it's like a coolest 5 years ever. They're winning every year. It's sick. But then they move to Calgary and become Flames 2. So you get 5 Oilers Stanley Cups and goes into
Honestly, I'm probably fine with it because if I had to Stanley Cup championship party for 5 years
Man,
in a
I was
row,
just gonna say,
I'm
I'd be-
probably not going to be around after the
After-
5th one
after
anyways.
number 5, Gary Bettman comes out and he's like, I got a news.
Yeah,
story."
like the 80s Oilers, like, hey boys, like calm down here. You're making us look like fucking
It's the Edmonton,
angels.
It's the Edmonton Rush movement where they win a championship and then they move to Saskatchewan the next year.
There's a poll out on our Instagram story right now for people that want to vote on it.
I
you should
feel
put
like-
mine out there too, the $1 million one.
Oh, I like
yeah,
yours
I
too.
should. Maybe I'll throw that out later in the week.
I like yours, Tyler.
Can't have too many polls up there at once.
Because I heard from a source that the Oilers are considering moving and becoming Oilers 2.
Oilers too.
Or,
now.
sorry, Flames 2.
Okay, yeah,
And I heard this from a source.
Houston Oilers too.
Was it Trina's oil?
Yes, it was. it's-
Garfield.
per
Call
Gar-
them up.
Okay, one last question, and
All
then we'll
right.
wrap up this podcast. I think it was the Hockey News asked it on Twitter. What's the one term from sports that you would remove
I know that
and not have it heard ever again?
Ball.
See, you stole mine.
So nobody said ball ever again in sports.
He's so good.
How do you navigate that? You can't say ball.
That's
like
what
imagine it's baseball and someone you can't say ball. So
It's
it'd be-
called base sphere.
base- and then like the guy throws a ball and you're like, that's outside.
Sphere. You just change it to another word, bro.
Sphere
basket.
Sphere one.
Basket what?
Basket round.
Oh,
That's
That's
just
ugly.
Stupid.
He said
Football.
it-
What? Football.
see,
What?
I said ball
Foot
because I
round.
want to see the world.
It's not
burn.
round. Fucking football's not round.
A football is round,
No,
bro.
it's not fucking round.
Yes,
What is it?
It's
Part
a
of it
it's
is.
a it's a
oblong.
three-dimensional.
It's oblong,
It's
yeah.
a three-dimensional rhombus.
What the fuck? A rhombus? You think a football's a
A
rhombus?
football is a rhombus that you
Is this an
shove.
Irish thing? Are you practicing for when you get over there?
Okay, so
It's a rhombus.
It's
so-
round. It can roll.
so
A rhombus can
Oh
roll.
my god.
A rhombus cannot
A rhombus
roll.
on a three-dimensional plane can roll.
It
Any
depends on which
What
way
the
you're.
fuck?
Depends on which way you're looking at it. This way, around the handle, that's round. If you're going tip to tip,
It's
it's
still
technically
round.
round. It's still technically round. There's no hard.
Man,
there's
you're
no hard
fucked.
corners
Okay.
on it.
All right. So Coom.
What's the definition
Ball.
of round?
Coom ball is
3D
Rick gonna
rhombus
remove
can't
round?
roll, you dipshit. Look at that. How can that? It's got flat edges, you dumbass.
Yeah, that's not going anywhere.
So Coom removes ball from the vernacular.
No, I remove rhombus because I'm embarrassed now. Nobody can ever say rhombus again.
Okay. Rick.
I don't even know. It had to be some sort. I think it's some of these analytical stats nowadays.
So stats. Maybe just the word stats.
Sure.
Culture
Can't use
is my.
stats. Culture.
I
Just-
think it's overused, but
But
it
that's what I
still holds. It still holds a lot of water.
No, let's find other ways to describe it. I agree that it holds a lot of water when it's used right, but it's never used right. It's become an annoying buzzword.
And that's
Get
fine.
rid of culture. Find other ways to communicate your point because culture sucks.
History.
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 People just say all time.
Yeah.
What do you mean they'd say all time?
Like instead of saying in Oilers history, they'd say all time
no, no.
with the
Talking
Oilers.
about
No, I was trying to
Oh.
replace culture.
Oh.
History.
Oh, history.
So what do you say instead of culture?
No, that doesn't. Well, it depends.
But
I think
exactly, you gotta
culture-
get
people
more
are
something
still
different.
people are still going to talk about the culture of a room, despite the
Do
fact.
I have to download a new app on my phone. It's a thesaurus, and I'm sure we can figure it out. from
My
there.
my word that I would remove because Coom stole my ball one would be game.
Coom stole your ball.
I would just
So you
love
did
to
the-
hear more people say match.
Yeah, match is better than game.
Get all.
But it depends.
get all
Certain things
tighty-tighty.
are matches, and that's when I get annoyed.
So
during
here's
game.
the
But there's games, there's matches.
Yeah.
synonyms for culture are ability, art, civilization, experience, fashion, perception, practice, science, and
Experience.
skill. So I think we go with civilization. And I say the civilization in the Oilers dressing room is pathetic, weak. We
They're
got to
not
get
very good
Matt
at the
Hendricks
game
back in there
Civilization 6.
so that they can, be happy again. and
Matt
they can make
Hendricks
the
is a
playoffs.
civilization master.
Played Civilization 3 for hours at a time, dominated, won by science.
Wait, should that be the title of the podcast? Matt Hendricks is a civilization master.
Sure.
Oh, man.
Is that a good one?
Yeah.
Or,
I like it.
or is it going to be Coombs' big
Super-
surprise?
It's
No.
super misleading, and I love it.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's
Yeah.
like we got at the very end.
Thank you for listening this week. I'm sorry if you left already.
I'm not sorry. You should listen to the podcast. We're all really cool, smart guys.
Yeah.
And if you tune out, you should be apologizing to us.
So thank you to Skip the Dishes for allegedly still probably being our sponsor. Thank you to Sherwood Ford for probably maybe still being our sponsor. Thank you to the boys, Rick, Coom, Yaremchuk, and Beg Milk is somewhere up above looking down on us.
He's in the upstairs office.
Yeah, it's
I'm-
good. Watch it. You say
I'm
that.
the Nation
You can't
Dan.
see us from there.
I'm the Nation Dan. This has
Just
been the
staring
ON
at the
Radio
floor.
Podcast. Thanks
Yep.
for listening. Shout out Damien.
Best wishes.
Thanks for listening to Oilers Nation Radio, a member of the Nation
What's your
Network of
ultimate sign-off
podcasts.
gonna be?
Make sure to follow us on all of our social media to stay up to date and never miss a podcast.